I wanted to spend some time today just to go over my producer template that's available for a free download on my website. If you go to spiceproductions.net, show you some benefits and features. My goal with this template was to improve the sound quality, improve the mix, and also improve workflow. You'll be able to spit out beats pretty fast and make them sound really good with this template. And the best part is that you're not stuck within this template. You're not stuck doing anything. You can always manipulate, change whatever you want, whether it's something as simple as just changing your colors, or maybe it's the way I label stuff and you want to just make it on your own. You label it there. Let's say the way I label the inputs and outputs on these buses. You know, maybe there's some stuff that you think I missed. You could just simply go to your setup window, go to your in and outs, click on your bus tab, and everything that I've already pre-labeled is here. So you could just go ahead and type in anything you want. Alright, so that's first off. And what I did is I grouped everything. So when you're working on your melodies, it'll be with everything that's grouped on top. The purple and green will serve as your A and B section. And whether you have a VST and you want to play stuff, or maybe you don't have a MIDI controller. In most cases, I'm not using a MIDI controller anymore. I'm always on the run and making beats on my laptop. So you could just draw in your MIDI and make, and just make beats on the go. I'm just drawing this in for purposes of the tutorial. I'm not focused on making a beat. I just want to show you workflow and how things are arranged. So this piano is already set up. Again, if you don't have this piano, you just swap it out for whatever you have. And this is routed out to bus 2728. If it's yellow, it's active. If it's white, it's not. And when I mean active, I should be saying if it's being used. So this bus is being used for this. Right? If it's white, it's not being used. Alright, so let's record this piano. I just drew some stuff in. I really don't know what it sounds like. Arm this track. Press record. Okay. So you get the point. You just keep stacking and building on your melody. Whether you step record or just play everything on one is fine. It's really up to you. It's preference. But the best part is that everything's already grouped for your mix. So everything that goes off of this VST can go here and you just route it. And you notice if I make this bigger, this output is set to melody. Right, you see the check mark? Because it's going in aux 1 through 5 is the input, melody. Right? So this mix, you don't have to keep on mix. That's just taking it to another bus. You can put it on output, master output. Completely up to you. If you leave it on the mix, then you'll notice the purple section is also sent out. Check to the mix. And where is that leading you to? That's leading you to this, the melody mix bus. So this mix bus will group your green and purple A and B sections into one track, so then you can finalize and really give that final touch to the entire piece as one. So you kind of just giving it a blanket mix to the group, right? And then you just do your individual submixes here. You don't have to now, click new and go to stereo, create 4 tracks, and then add this, and then add that, master track. You don't have to do any of that anymore. Forget all that. Now you just open this up, and it's already set up for you. Everything's going from top to bottom, and then from left to right. Inserts A through E, top to bottom, and then left to right. So whatever you insert on F will manipulate what's already in A through E. Alright, top to bottom, left to right. And now these sends already have stuff on it too. So if you notice this send for aux, these sends, everything's the same. Everything goes in a line, right? So this reverb's already set up for you. That reverb is down here. And it's a standard stock reverb. Small room, 100% wet. And then I have an EQ right underneath it. And then for my delays, I have the H delay on a ping pong set. Here's my settings, delay, the feedback. Alright, everything's there. That's how you're going to start up. So now, if you want to run a reverb and delay, Now you can use the effects any way you want. Alright, so that's the top section, A and B. Then you have your hats. And so I'll run my hats on a pre-fader, which is just preference. You don't have to, but I like to. And that pre-fader here, you see how it's clicked in blue? Means this is on. And so what I'm doing is using this. You see how it's labeled compressor? This input, this compressor. And so what I would do is run my hats through there and use a compressor as a sidechain to make the hats bounce. And if you have this compressor, then you would just click your key here and then assign that key as a trigger, and then you use anything that you want to trigger those hats. Well, what you're doing is triggering the compression, so it works as a side chain on the hats. It'll give it a cool bounce. And then you could just manipulate your hats any further you want, whether you're adding pitch, whether you're, putting some other effects on it, delays, reverbs, whatever you want, it would go here. Again, this is preference. If you don't like using the pre-fader, just deactivate it. If you don't want to run it through a bus, just leave it on your master and you're good to go. These samplers already have sounds in them, but you're not going to have my sounds, so this sampler will probably empty. If perhaps you want to use it, just load it up with sounds so you just have a bank of sounds to go to. Otherwise, you could just switch this out to any sampler you want. It's really up to you, and again, it's just preference. So let's say I'm just going to draw some stuff in for purposes of workflow. Now, I don't know what this is going to sound like, but alright, I want you to notice that normally these kicks would be on the master, so you can hear them. And I'll show you. They're routed to your low ends. I'm sorry. This kick will have to be routed to the kick. So match this kick, send the output of this kick to the input of this kick. This is where you're going to record it. Kick, snare, kick, snare. So on these tracks, or if you want to preview it, hit the I. If you like it, press record and just record it. And make sure you hit record on your hats. Right? Boom, done. So now, guess what? These drums are already grouped, so I would just deactivate this MIDI. And then if you go down, now you could just mix your drum group quickly by tweaking your EQ, adding some compression for glue. And I'll just keep the gain reduction at around -3, no more than -6, anywhere in between that area. And this is your threshold. If this is not the compressor you prefer, put on your own and it'll work just fine. It's really just understanding where to place these plugins. And again, it's top to bottom, left to right. Alright, so that's that. Percussion is done and already mixed. You go down to your master fader. If you go down to your master fader, you're going to see the WLM. Another gem about this is if you happen to have this plugin, it comes with my preset. And this is optimized for Spotify. If you don't have this loudness meter, there's plenty of loudness meters you can get on the internet. There's even some for free. All you would do is place that here instead of this one. This limiter's here. It's the last thing that hits right before the loudness meter. And then you could just adjust this. Alright, you get the point. I have the C6 multiband compressor here. Tape machine for saturation. It's a regular EQ. This EQ I don't change. And if you don't like creating stuff from scratch using the VSTs, you can always just drag and drop your sounds in here too, and it works just the same. For the producers that just need their beats to knock, you know, you want to shop your beats, you want to put it on your beat store, you need a solid, clean mix, this is going to be your route. And I hope you agree. I hope you think this is a good starting point. You know, I really want to hear some feedback on this. That's it. Give it a shot. Let me know. Peace.